Hey beloveds, welcome back to the Healing Mom Diaries. There are moments in life where joy and pain, peace and chaos seem to exist all at once, and somehow we find ourselves in the middle, trying to show up with grace even when everything feels uncertain. This past month has been a whirlwind of emotions, and in today's episode, I want to take you with me through the layers, the moments of deep gratitude, the ones that tested me, the ones that reminded me that healing doesn't always look like stillness. It often looks like continuing. So let's get into it. Sometimes healing looks like stepping into roles you've never expected, but somehow feel deeply called to. This season, I found myself becoming the woman I needed, supporting my brother's transition, showing up for my family, and holding space for a vision that's bigger than just me. From helping my brother move to a new state to quietly celebrating the closing of our new multi-generational home, I've been reflecting on how this new chapter is rewriting the definition of home for me. Grief doesn't always announce itself gently. Sometimes it rushes in, right alongside life's most beautiful moments. As I was trying to hold space for this new journey, I found myself simultaneously preparing for the first deep loss my family's ever known, my grandma Daisy, our family's heart. And yet, in the midst of the sadness, there was a sacred beauty in how we all came together. Across 5 generations, from Japan to the States, we held each other, and somehow, even in the ache, there was still love, legacy, and grace. I am divinity defined. Good morning. Are you cold? You are? You want to get a blanket?
Or successful, you have to choose one lane and stay within it, which is just not true for you. Everything that sparks a passion inside you is trying to get you to follow it. Your challenge is to defy what society tells us about how to become happy and successful, and show us a new way of doing it. And MG's gift to the world is to break us out of the boxes we live our lives in and expand our perspective on what's possible. You're here to chart a previously unseen life path.
There's something about loss, transition, and exhaustion that can leave you feeling like you're floating. And yet, somewhere between the tears and the to-do list, I found a strange kind of clarity. It's like life is reminding me that even in the chaos, there is still a future worth dreaming about. That it's okay to pause, that it's okay to rebuild, and that healing isn't a destination. It's a daily choice, a daily prayer, a daily breath. As I step into this new month, this new quarter, and this new version of myself, I'm choosing hope, one soft, intentional moment at a time. Hey beloved, so I honestly don't even know where to begin with this video. This past month not even the past month. This past quarter has been one of the most beautiful yet challenging seasons that I've experienced in my entire life. And I guess I'm just ready to just like unpack everything with you all. I've literally experienced new beginnings, deep losses, unexpected struggles, and pure joy throughout all the mist of it all. And honestly, throughout everything, I've had to constantly remind myself to just show up, to keep pushing forward, even though a lot of the times I have no idea why all the things are happening or why they're happening or why it's unfolding the way that it is. So today I just want to sit here with you all, share my heart, share my journey, and let you guys in on what's all been happening behind the scenes. Because I feel like I say this almost in every video. If there's anything that I've learned throughout my ongoing healing journey, is that it is never linear. Growth definitely isn't always pretty, but no matter what, we keep going, we keep showing up. But if you're new here, what's going on, girl? My name is Ty, and welcome back again to Alive with Ty. This is the sacred space where I share my healing journey, the highs, the lows, and everything uncomfortable in between. And if anything in this video today resonates with you, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share with all of your friends and family so that we can be on this ever-going journey together. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and get right into it. As most of you have already seen in my last vlog that is almost 3 weeks old now, you guys know that was the vlog of me traveling to Florida. My brother had just moved out there with his job and basically just like starting life, and I was expressing how we all, like we being my siblings and I, are all stepping out into a different version of adulthood that we've never experienced before, with, you know, me and my family moving into a multi-generational living situation, and then my brother moving across states to Florida completely by himself, and my sister finally stepping out and getting her own place with my niece, and there's just so much newness that is happening all simultaneously at the same time. It really dawned on me that I was in a space in my life where I was able to truly move how I want to move. I was fully embracing the newfound freedom that I was exposed to. And like I had mentioned, I helped my brother move in, I visited family, and really just accepting this new role and position that was, you know, presented to me in my life. And life is truly so crazy, because as I'm stepping into this new chapter, I'm also reflecting on who I've become. And in the midst of me just trying to get a grasp of understanding this new version and identity of myself, we also close on our new home, which is very, very exciting. It's something that I haven't shared on socials until now, because there's just been so many other moving parts behind the scenes that I just couldn't even really embrace that moment, if I'm being honest. But yes, we officially closed on our new multi-generational home in Georgia, and I'm just super, super excited to be able to just document and continue the journey and share that with you. And if you've seen the last video, then you also seen a little short clip. I tried to do like a little teaser at the end of the vlog. So for those of you who actually didn't make it to the end of the vlog, then y'all already got the sneak peek. But I did add in a little teaser of like my husband and my daughter seeing the house for the first time, and us just embracing that moment as a family. Be sure to check that video out in real time. I really just wanted to truly embrace that moment, because I don't know if I shared this with you all. When the move does officially happen, there's gonna be, you know, a gap in between, because my daughter, she's still in school. I'm not gonna take her out of school only for her to finish up maybe a month and a half. Sorry if you hear Zamir in the back. He's laying down taking a nap right now and has like the sniffles. But yeah, there is gonna be a little bit of a gap, because I'm not going to take Zayla out of school with only a month and a half of the year left. So we decided that my husband and my daughter are going to stay here in Maryland, finish up the school year. Zayla's going to come down with us once the summer has officially commenced for her. And my husband is still going to continue to work until further notice. We're embarking on a lot of different changes. Again, at the same time, I'm just going to deal with it as the day comes. I really don't have time to sit here and process everything to the best of my ability, because I can't even honestly think past tomorrow. if I'm being for real. During that time of us, being just in gratitude, embracing, the closing of the home and just embracing the moment with the family, I also got hit with some unexpected heavy news. This is my first time actually really taking time to sit with myself and openly speak about it. So I apologize in advance if I get emotional, because throughout literally the past couple weeks, again, I found myself just showing up in the best way that I can for my family. And yeah, I don't think I've really had time to actually sit and think and talk out loud to myself. So this is my first time doing this again, so I just wanted to put that out there if I do get a little bit emotional sharing this with you guys. But my last vlog, there was a moment in there where I shared with you all seeing my great grandma Daisy and just how it's always just a norm for whenever I'm in Florida to make time and make space for her, to see her, to visit her, to comfort her, to love on her, to just do all the things, just sit with her. And you guys just seen how lively and fierce she was in that video. But yeah, this is literally within the same week of me visiting her and closing on the house, and I get a call that my grandma Daisy was transitioning into hospice. And I feel like I also want to emphasize how just even processing something like this with someone so close to me and just my family, this is the first that my family has ever experienced a loved one transitioning. My grandfather, my mom, me, and I also want to emphasize my children has experienced more loss in their short amount of lives here on earth than I have in my entire 27 years of life. So you can imagine how difficult this has been for just everyone in my family. But yeah, my grandma Daisy, this woman was the founder of 5 generations. And I say that because a lot of people don't even get to experience that. Most people don't get to experience that. I just feel like my family is just so blessed to have made it throughout all of these years with her presence, with her love, with her prayers, with everything that she could have with everything that she blessed us with behind closed doors. Of course, just as I'm, celebrating a major life change in my life that is, full of joy and happiness, I am also at the same time faced with a completely different version of a new beginning and life experience with my grandma Daisy, in the process of transitioning. And the fact that I had never felt that before, the moment really didn't even cross my mind on how I would even process it. Is definitely one thing where you could have a friend or, a friend or someone that you may know who has lost a loved one, and you could be there for comfort and support and, just showing up in the best way that you can for whatever they need. But I feel like it's such a completely different story when you are going through it yourself and it's your own loved one and it's your own feelings and emotions that are involved with this version of a life change, to where you could really truly understand what it feels like. Just trying to balance the joy of closing on our brand new home that is just a blessing within itself, and also preparing for my first significant loss in my family. I feel like God literally makes no mistakes in the things that he does. I truly believe that, and I have full faith in that. And as I'm sitting here talking about it with you guys, I really feel like everything that is put in front of me, all the trials and tribulations, all the roadblocks, all the unforeseen struggles or situations that I'm faced with, is all in God's timing and his divine alignment for me to show up as my true self. Because if I don't have anything happening, if I don't have anything going on in my life, then it's how do I really get to how do I get to the destination that he already designed for me to show up in? And that's really what I just keep having to remind myself, because there's no other explanation as to why something like this would just continuously keep happening to someone without it being for a greater purpose and a greater cause over their life. Then to throw a cherry on top, y'all know life does not pause for anything, anyone, anybody. The kids, they get sick again. I'm dealing with high fevers, potentially having to go back to the hospital just to see what is going on. At this point, I feel like my mom anxiety is really on an overflow because I don't want my kids to go anywhere and be around anyone, because the fact that I've had to deal with this type of sickness almost 2 months, and it's not a little cold, like it's the flu, it's high fevers, it's discomfort. I just feel like I could not catch my breath and I couldn't catch a break. And it just feels like every time I make efforts to get myself and my household back in order, something else just comes knocking at the door. Like, girl, you think you have it all figured out, but you really don't have nothing figured out. It's a very humbling experience, and I've learned to just not even get so overwhelmed with it because I can't explain it. This stuff happens, and the more that I can come to terms with just allowing everything to flow and adjusting to the changes, the better off I will be, the better off I will be for my husband, for my children, and just for myself. So if you guys know anything about hospice, there have been people who are put into hospice and then have come out of hospice. Their age and situation definitely plays a huge role, in what the outcomes and possibilities could be. But because my great-grandmother was blessed beyond measures to live 97 years of life, there was just certain options that we just couldn't take when it came to her. Because it would have been too traumatizing. Her body wouldn't have been able to recover. So they told us we had 60 days. And again, when people say, you have 60 to 90 days or 60 days with your loved one, for me in that moment, I really didn't even anticipate whenever the time will get to the last day. We really didn't even make it that far. We really didn't make it far at all, because only maybe 2 to 3 days later, I get a call from my mom saying that, things are happening a lot faster than we expected. And at that moment, that was all that I needed to hear. I immediately booked my flight for me and my son. We caught the next flight out, which was like a red eye or something. And I don't even think I went to sleep that night. I think I just heard what was going on. Of course, I didn't get any grand details about anything, but it's like I can just feel what I needed to do and did what needed to be done. And the next thing I know, I was blinking and I'm in Fort Lauderdale again with my son, my mom, my uncles, my grandparents, and my siblings. And that week, without going into detail of how that week went, I will say I needed to be there. That moment needed to happen. And my Baba, who literally was in Japan, got the next flight available and was back in the States within 2 days. She had said something to us that really just sits with me to this day. And it was basically, it's like, all the decisions or all the things that happen in our lives, in the past that we may not know why it's happening. Like, for instance, there was a point where I was working almost all the time, and this type of situation had occurred back then. I don't know if I would have been able to make the moves that I'm making now to be there for my family. The same with my sister when she wasn't in school, but she's now in school and on the road to graduate within the next couple months in her nursing program. And my brother being able to work in the airline and basically get our whole entire family out here for nothing in less than 24 hours because of his position. Basically saying all that to say is we don't understand the decisions and the transitions that happen in our lives as it's unfolding in that present moment. But there's always a bigger revelation that we will soon come to know when the time is right. And y'all know I'm a very divine alignment type of person. And I as soon as she said that, I was just like, that's it. So of course, yeah, we're going through that. We're processing it. Life is still continuing to life throughout all the hardships that I'm experiencing. So at some point, I do have to make it home to my children and to my daughter and my husband. And then my dad's birthday is also coming up in a couple days. And my mom had already planned this surprise 50th birthday celebration in our hometown in Connecticut. So it's really things are showing up and then I'm just responding. Things are showing up and I'm just responding. Things are showing up, I'm just responding without even really getting the opportunity to fully sit with my emotions and fully sit with grasping, understanding, processing what is happening. I was talking to a friend the other day, and as I'm like sharing everything that's been happening, their response is just like, wow, like, are you good? And it's not until like I get those types of reactions to where I can sit here and actually acknowledge, like, girl, am I good? Like, am I actually good? Because it's as if I'm just coasting on autopilot and just, stopping at the places that I know I need to show up and then just continuing to flow and coast on through. So imagine trying to celebrate and, embrace this new, huge, like I had mentioned, my dad, he was turning 50, which is a major milestone in life. But at the same time, I'm kind of low-key grieving because we're celebrating a life while losing a life. Like, even when I just say it out loud, it really just, I can't make sense of it. And the more that I try to make sense of it, it's frustrating. So I'm trying to really allow myself to release all that is trying to make sense out of everything, because it is what it is, and it doesn't have to make sense. But yeah, celebrating a life while losing a life is the most unimaginable thing I would say someone can experience. And I definitely felt conflicted, because it's like a part of me wanted to be there until the very last second, but the reality is I still have my own life and my own responsibilities and my own family to continue to show up for, which can sound harsh, but that's just the matter of fact of the situation. And I really don't even know how I'm showing up every day with strength and grace anymore. It's just like it's something clearly just within me, because I can't even explain. I can't tell you why or how, but I know it's something in me. So yeah, I'm in Florida. I come back from Florida back home to Maryland, and my daughter's sick. I end up making the decision to pull her out of practice for the week. If you guys don't know, my daughter is an acro gymnast, and she practiced 3 times a week for 2.5 hours every single week, and she's been doing that since August. Right now we're in the middle of competition season, but the amount of times that her body hasn't been doing well, to me, I just made the decision to pull her out so that she can completely rest her body without feeling good for 24 to 48 hours, but then not feeling good for the next 3 days. And it wasn't a decision that the doctor told me to do. It wasn't a decision that the coaches suggested that I do. It was just solely a decision that I decided to do as her mom, seeing all that's going on. And I'm not going to tolerate my daughter going through this health back and forth. Like, her body to me was shutting down. Like, her immune system was shutting down, so she just needed to rest, and that's exactly what I did. It was a big financial cut, of course, because you sign contracts, you make decisions, you gotta uphold to them. But at the end of the day, it's like the health of my family comes first before anything. So that's just what had to be done. Thankfully, she was healthy enough to travel with us to Connecticut for the surprise celebration of my dad. I went down there with my mom and the 3 kids, my 2 kids, and then my niece Zuri, and the party turned out amazing. If I have some clips, I'll enter them here, but Dad was definitely surprised, and it's always nice to be home with family and friends and just, have that moment. So everything turned out to be more than what we could have imagined. So it was a good feeling and a good moment of just pure bliss and happiness. The next day, which was my dad's actual birthday, that's when we got the call that my grandma Daisy had transitioned. I feel like in that moment, I internally felt like I'm going through this tornado or this tsunami, and I don't have no shelter around me. I feel like that's the best explanation as to what I felt, because again, like I had mentioned before, every time I make new grand transitions to, do something or put me and my family in a better position or whatever the case is, something comes knocking on the door to humble you. That was that call that morning on my dad's birthday. And I will continue to say this. I feel like God makes no mistakes. The timing of everything is, at this point, it's like I truly have no idea what God is preparing me for. But what I do know is that I'm surrendering. Like, I have no choice but to continue to learn from him and find my strength in him. And so now we're here. It's a brand new month. It's a brand new quarter. We're here in the beginning of April. What is today? Today is actually Wednesday, April 9th, and it's a new season. It's a new month. It's a new quarter. It's a new season. And one thing that I've learned that I can share with you all is that healing is very messy. It's very messy. It's not linear. And sometimes you don't even have all the time that you require to process all that's going on before you're hit with your next big thing. But through it all, I'm still here. And I really just owe all of it to the strength, courage, wisdom, and prayers of my great-grandma Daisy. Because without her, there would be no me. And all of this strength and resilience that you guys are seeing before you, I can't explain where it comes from. It's in me. She created it within me. I'm still pushing forward. So if you're going through a season where you're feeling like life is not letting up on you, like you're truly being knocked out in every single direction possible, and you can't find your way through the storm, I'm pleading with you to keep on going. Whatever that looks like to you, just keep on going. Even when you don't understand it, please keep on going, because we all know the saying, we have our plans in this era of life, but God's plans overrules all. You are definitely stronger than what you may think. And one day you're definitely going to look back and just realize how much you truly overcame. I'm saying this to y'all, but if I'm being for real, I'm really just speaking to myself. So beloveds, I want to hear from you guys. How have you been navigating your healing journey? What's one lesson this season has taught you about yourself? And what's something that you're working on releasing so that you can fully step into this next era of you? Y'all, I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon because I have to pick up my daughter from school and head to gymnastics practice. But again, this journey is only the beginning. Healing, growing, and embracing all life has to offer. In the next video, I want to share with you guys how I'm figuring out and managing how to move forward with everything, I guess. Of course, y'all seen in the beginning of this video, we're in pure chaos right now with packing up this home. We're actually leaving this weekend to begin the moving process. But yeah, I think my focus is to continue to figure out the best course of action for me in terms of just showing up more consistently on here because this is something that I truly, it's not even like something that I just want to check off a list. It's something that I feel so deep in my heart that I want to continue to create and to share to my growing community so that we can be on this evolution of self-love, growth and development, and motherhood together. And I'm gonna figure out the best course of action for me to do that. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys right now. Zamir's officially asleep, which means he's going to be asleep for the duration of Zayla's entire practice, which allows me to have a full 2.5 hours of quiet time. So I think I'm just gonna bring like a book with me or one of my new word search. Actually, let me show you guys this real quick. So before any of this stuff happened, I typically find myself going on like late night drives or going to one of my favorite retail stores every so often, just as like a form of self-care for me. One of my favorite stores for the past couple years have been Five Below because I'm just so in love with all of their book options. And this one is one that I recently just came across randomly, just like browsing through. And I feel like, again, there's certain things that I come across and I feel like it's divinely guided. It's like a energetic pull, because out of all the books that they have there, the fact that I came across this just before I was experiencing one of the most challenging periods of my life is another thing that is unexplainable. And I actually think I'm just gonna pour some time this afternoon or this evening while Zayla's at practice to just kind of go through this. It's a combination of like word searches, but it also has like little interactive journaling prompts as well. Like this one that I did yesterday, it says, what are 3 things that you're grateful for today and what made you smile? So just little stuff like this. This one says, I guess like the first 3 words that I found in the word search, it says, based off of those words, how do they inspire you to think about gratitude in your life? Why are you grateful for each thing? And how can you help to cultivate gratitude every day? So yeah, I'm actually going to bring this and actually work on it because I've had this for such a long time and I barely opened the cover. But yeah, I hope you guys truly enjoyed today's video. In the next video, I definitely plan to continue to share with you all how I am finding different ways to continue to heal throughout all that I've experienced, and just, you know, having an open conversation about it with you guys. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share with all of your friends and families. And until next time, peace, beloveds.